for joining me. This is the Money Mindset interview series. So for a start, maybe you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, starting with your name.
Hi guys, hello. My name is Wen Kai. What do you want to know? Okay, I'm an engineer by profession, by training. But now I'm actually working from home. Been a while. So what happened was that previously was an engineer for about 7 to 8 years. Then decided to come out to venture on my own after attending the U class. So since then, been looking forward to collaborations and working with other people. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. And so, because this is the Money Mindset series interview, right? So we're going to talk about money. So my first question to you is, to you, what does money mean to you?
I realized that money is nothing more than a means of exchange. So I actually don't need a lot to get by. And for what I learned, money is more important, not just how much you have, but rather how you spend it. For example, $100, how would you meaningfully spend $100, right? Some people can just, go to an expensive restaurant, buy a glass of wine, buy a bottle of something, and $100 is fun. But conversely, you can also spend $100, buying groceries, going to childcare centers, going to old folks' home. That $100, even though it's the same value in money, gives a lot more in value. So to me, money, the purpose of money has changed. And I now know that actually I don't need so much money to get by. I just need enough to get by. And as of what I have now, I have enough to get by. Yeah.
That's very interesting. The interesting contrast between the $100 in the restaurants and $100 in, using it to help other people. So how about yourself in your own current lifestyle, current way of thinking, current way of looking at money? What would you do with the $100?
Depends. Cause I normally split out my money, certain sums to do certain things. For example, if that money is meant for food, then I would take a look at, what are the good food that I can eat for the best prices. So for example, last night, my wife and I, we went Chong Pang to have char kway teow. So that char kway teow it costs about $3.50 per plate, right? But I felt that it was so much more fulfilling because the food was great and it's cheap, and it reminds me of some old memories I had as a kid, when I had the char kway teow somewhere else. So to me, that $3.50 was very well spent. Yeah. Nowadays,
wow, so it's a value.
I would prefer to spend on experience rather than on monetary material things. Because a bag, I rather have spend $30 on a bag and have the bag hold $70 than spend $100 on a bag and not have many money in the bag, right?
Yeah.
So it's personal preference, but it's just what I go to realize. Something that works for me.
Okay, that's interesting. So, what's your belief about what can money do for you? You mentioned about the $100, what the $100 can do, and you also mentioned about you mentioned a part about putting different uses for your money. Yeah.
Yep.
So tell us more about that.
What money can do for me? Money, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, is just a means of exchange for me now that I'm grown a bit. Okay, so how do I split my money, right? What happens is on payday, I still pay myself. So on paydays, I segregate the pays into 3 separate baskets.
Okay.
One is for expense, one is for savings, and one is for investment. So for example, my pay comes in, say, on the 10th. So I'll give a couple of days buffer just in case of any banking issues. Then on the 12th, the money will automatically go out to the different accounts that I have, so that the money is automatically taken care of. Whatever money I have in the expense account means I can spend. So there's no worry about overspending and not saving and stuff like that.
So you split your money into 3 different categories. Sorry, you mentioned it's expense,
Savings, and investment.
And investment. So how long have you been doing this particular habit of splitting it into 3 different categories? I assume, is it in 3 different accounts?
Yes, 3 different bank accounts, 3 different statements.
Okay.
So been doing it for I think more than 10 years.
More than 10 years.
Yeah, at first I started it off as a habit. People say if you've read about spending habits, people call it jars, right? So 1 jar for spending and stuff or not. So I'm a bit lazy. I just do the e-banking way. So every month I don't have to do it again and again.
So is it? Yes. Sorry.
There are recommendations to use physical jars so that you can feel the money but I'm lazy
So do you do it automatically? Do they deduct automatically a fixed amount, or do you just curious how it works, because everybody do it differently? So for you, what works best for you? Is it a fixed amount on an automatic recurring basis, or is it a variable amount that you decide on payday and then you do it manually? Because you said you did it.
I do a fixed amount automatically, so that I don't have to go through the hassle to go in every month to adjust the amounts.
Okay. That's interesting. And you've been doing this for more than 10 years.
Yep.
Wow. How has it been working out for you?
It's actually very good, you see. Especially for people who want to save to buy a HDB. And especially for the past 2 years, my house reno was saved based off this method. So I spent the money for reno was saved this way.
Wow.
So it's good. I don't have to think about it. And I know exactly how much I can spend for certain items. Even for the savings account, I have a rough gauge of, how much I need to save. For example, if I just get married and I need a reno of 50,000-60,000 within the next 2 years, I can work back this way and start to pre-allocate my savings amount each month. That way, I won't get so stressed when the time comes and I need to spend for the reno. Because you won't find the partner that you want to marry instantly, right? So it takes some time, go dating and whatnot.
You mean you don't? Okay.
Yeah, I don't. So when I realized that, okay, this person may be the right one for me, then I start planning out how are our lifestyle, how is it like, what do we want, and how much will it cost. So start working backwards from there. Can be 2 years. For me, so far, the longest planning period has been 2 years.
At this point in time, are there any long-term investments that you are looking at? Because that would be closer to home, and that would drive back the long-term view that you have, that you actually implement in your own life as well.
Currently, I do not foresee any big ticket items in the next 1 to 2 years. So what I do is I try to focus on my business for now.
Okay.
And when I see a need to buy big ticket items, then I will start to calculate and reallocate the resources again.
Yes. Any money lessons you have experienced in the past and are open to share with us?
Throughout my short stay on this planet called Earth, I learned a few things. Okay, some of the things that I feel, one of the things I feel was very important on money lessons is saving.
Okay.
As a kid, my mom enforced savings and I diligently do it. Yeah. She taught us to save, then I felt it was a very good habit because savings is the fundamentals. So it's not about how much you earn, but how much you can keep. So if you can make $10 an hour, but you keep $9, means you're paying you have a cash flow of $9. But if you make like $12 but you spend 11, then yeah lah, it doesn't really make sense in the long run also lah. So for me, savings was a large part of my childhood. Savings was very important. Every Chinese New Year, save the ang pao money, and that little bit actually accumulated a lot, and it helps lah. Because when I was in university, I used the money I saved from my army days, and I did not actually. I mean, I got holiday jobs and stuff lah during the school holidays, but I did not take money from my parents since I came out from the army lah. So that was how I practiced to save more and get some real life experience before I started working. So when I started working, things were a lot easier for me because even though there was the school loan, it was much more manageable because I know how much of it I have to deduct and how much I have to set aside for say household expenses, paying my mom and stuff. Yeah, so saving was a large part. And recently, I feel that I have more or less mastered saving lah. So I'm moving to something else. I'm moving to earning. I believe you know lah, earning, a lot of millennials nowadays say earning is more important than savings, but I think it goes together hand in hand. So you must be able to save, but also there is a limit to how much you can save. For example, if you earn $3,000 a month, no matter how much you save, you still need to eat, you still need to pay your housing and utility bills, your insurance and stuff. So no matter how much you save, you cannot save beyond 3,000 a month, even if that's how much you earn lah. So there's no way you can save beyond that. So in order to save a larger amount, you have to raise your income ceiling lah. So that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm practicing to go out there to do things that will help me to earn more lah. Yeah. Actually, it's just giving me a piggy bank lor. So for example, she'll give say $1 every day, but she won't give the $1 coin lah. She'll give in like 10 cents, 20 cents and stuff so that we can spend. And at the end of the day, she'll ask me, when I come home from school, how much do you have left? And then ask me to put it into the piggy bank itself. So then she'll say, okay, this money is saved for your future use. So she'll go through it very often and say, this money is for your use. Next time when you grow up, then you can start to use it. For now, okay. So there's no need to touch it now. So whatever you leftover money you have, just keep putting in it every day lah. So that became a habit, and yeah lah. So I started to become more and more picky, growing my piggy banks, buying piggy banks that are really cute lah, so that I really use them. And towards a point in time, I started to change my piggy banks. I changed it to I changed the things that I keep inside. So instead of keeping 10 cents, 20 cents, right? 10 cents, 20 cents, I will put in like a small container or bowl. Then I will save the $1. So at the end of the year, I'll check, how much $1 coins I have in that piggy bank. Yeah, that was what I used to do after I got my first job. Yeah, upgraded to $1 coins.
So, moving on to retirement, because retirement is often linked with money. So I'm actually curious, what is retirement to you?
Retirement is doing whatever I want whenever I want. Okay. Retirement it used to be an age for me lah when I was working. But now it's like, okay, retirement can be today, tomorrow, as and when I have the cash flow that allows me to do whatever I want whenever I want. So that now I'm learning to build income in a different manner so that I don't have to exchange time for money. And for example, if I go overseas with my family, I still get paid. Yeah.
Okay, so it's a lifestyle. It's not so much no longer about age. No longer about, relying on, whatever age the government says. So that one is actually not of concern to you. It's actually a lifestyle. Okay, that's good. So, what is the? I'm going to end off with one last question. What is the best money advice that you have received?
Actually, I read this off a book.
Uh-huh.
I think I shared this just now. It's not the best money advice I learned is from this book. It's not how much you earn, it's about how much you keep.